team in the rain. What's that like?
It just makes us better, right? I mean, when we play arena football, you don't have rain, you don't have thunderstorms, but 72 degrees and sunny with some AC every time we play in the Amway Center. But no worries. I mean, we want to put on a show for fans. Did a good hour and a half worth. Get out of the rain so they can go enjoy a good barbecue that we have set up for them. But I was proud of the guys. It's all about the fans. And next time they'll see us, we'll be playing Tampa Bay on the road for the first game of the arena football season.
Obviously, Predators have such a fantastic fan base. The expectations for this team seem to be pretty high. Do you embrace that, or?
Yeah, and this is where I just am as a person. I mean, expectations are always going to be higher, when you're doing something, for yourself. And we're trying to take everybody, fans included, take pride in this team. And when you really take pride in it, you want a winning atmosphere. So for the 25th season, which is historic in itself, when you talk about the Arena Football League, being knocked out of the playoffs, being a couple plays away from the Arena Bowl 2 years ago, I mean, we want to win this thing. We want to be the first professional sports team to bring a championship trophy in a long time to the city of Orlando. We want to be the first ones to do it. So absolutely, it's championship or bust, and I'm not afraid to say that.
How do you go about that? Obviously, won the division last year, got a home playoff game, but what do you need to improve to get to that?
Well, really, it was about the recruiting. Our general manager Mike DiGiulio did an unbelievable job, with the coaching staff to really scout the guys. I mean, we're a professional sports team, but we recruit, and so we had to make this a place where people wanted to be. And so that's where Westgate Resorts comes into play. That's where the Amway Center comes into play. That's where the Citrus Bowl comes into play. And so we've made it very favorable for people to want to be here. And with that being said, you got the right talent. Now you put the mental with the physical. On paper, we look like a championship team. You hope that correlates to on-field success, and I believe it will. And hopefully we have a lot of fans that's going to turn out. We're selling tickets like crazy, which is great. So we want people to be at the games, and a lot of hard work went into this. So I'm going to make sure that everybody's rewarded at the end of this thing.
Who are some of the new guys that fans may want to keep an eye out for?
Well, I tell you what, Varma Sony is an unbelievable talent. A guy that played for the Cleveland Browns and played for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but he's going to be our middle safety this year. He's a guy that literally is going to be a guy who's going to get interceptions left and right. And our defensive line, I mean, a multitude of players. I mean, the biggest thing we wanted to do this year to upgrade was to get interceptions, to get turnovers back for our offense in a possession game, and also get after the quarterback. And so we have 4 all-arena defensive linemen that have just come and signed to our team. We just made a great trade for another one that'll be going across the waiver wire here any soon, and we're really stepping our game up. So I'm proud that this is a place where players want to be.
And obviously you got a guy like Randy coming back, a guy who played really, really well for you guys last year. And in this league, quarterback is so important.
Yeah, quarterback is so important, and that's why having an offensive coordinator like Matt Salk is unbelievable to work with Randy. Take him to the next level with this mental game. 4 out of the last 5 MVPs of the Arena Football League have been coached by Matt Salk at one time or the other. And so when you say that, our job is to turn Randy into the MVP. And guess what? If Randy needed help, Bernard Morris is right there, and we got another quarterback, Chase Cartwright, who's right there. So competition breeds success. But absolutely, I mean, in 2 weeks when we take the field, I want to make sure these guys are ready for a very intense football season. But mentally, we're trying to make them even tougher than they are now.
Does that mean that Randy is the starter?
Right now, it looks as such. So Randy took the starting rep today in the scrimmage. We want to evaluate it. We want to keep everybody honest. I don't want to award somebody a starting spot right now, but he's looking really good, and I think if he stays on this pace, it looks pretty good for him.
You had to cut the roster down to 28 yesterday. What's the process going to be like as these final cuts are made?
Yeah, so we'll go from 28 to 24 this week, and so the final process is it's great if you can do one thing great, but it's also great if you can do a couple things well. And so if you have guys who's the third quarterback, who's the second holder, who's the backup long snapper, if a defensive back goes down, does a wide receiver, can he fill in the spot? So we're going to have days like that. We're going to figure out who is the most valuable to our team, and there's going to be a lot of tough decisions. When you put a great team like this together, it's very tough to make decisions and cuts, but that's a good thing. If it was easy, that means we don't really have that much depth, and so we had a lot of depth coming into camp right now. And so, with that being said, we're gonna probably make some trades, probably alter the roster, to just shape it the best way we possibly can for that first week.
With the four guys that are going to be cut off the team coming up this week, how much preparation have you already started in film work on looking ahead to Tampa?
And with all due respect to Tampa, I think they've done the same thing for us. We played them 3 times last year. I mean, we've been working on Tampa for 6 months. It's now just instilling the game plan into the players. But yeah, this first week was about just kind of molding the team, getting everybody on our routine and our regiment and how we do things. And then starting Monday, I mean, we'll really start, the special teams will start coming into play. And, before you know it, you'll have a Tampa Bay, film script out there, and you'll have the depth chart and the scouting report and all that stuff, and we'll get rocking and rolling.